Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Team 1 of Accounting System Class A. We are going to review a journal by the name Journal of a Cleaner Production. The title of the journal is A Systematic Analysis of Environmental Management System in SMEs, Possible Research Direction from a Management Accounting and Control Stance. We would like to introduce our team. The first one is Firly Adian Pratama, student number 121. The second one is Setya Kirana Chandra, student number 125. And the third is Salsabila Kirana, student number 128. Let's start by explaining the journal information.
Well, first we need to know about the details of the journal we reviewed. Our journal is titled Journal of Cleaner Production, a systematic analysis of environmental management system in FMAS. Possibly research direction from a management accounting and control stage. As I said earlier, and SMAS in Indonesia is UKM. Yes, UKM. Nah, this journal has 224 volumes and has 339 pages. This journal is published at 2020 and the author is Leanne Johnston. She is a PhD candidate and Oxford University School of Business. And the reviewer of this journal is our team. There are Firly Adian Pratama, Setya Kirana Chandra, Salsabila Kirana, CF. And we're reviewing 8T in March at 2000. This journal have background that this journal, given the limited research on FMAS published in MAC journals. The article based for this background section spans fields such as environmental management and family business, among others. It begins with a look at the connection between AMS and sustainability MAC in order to position the research. It then overview exciting understanding of the type of nature of control in FMAS. Finally, it looks at literature which reviews AMS include SMS and larger firms. This frames how AMS have previously been considered to inform the following systematic review. This journal has purpose that this systematic review was to synthesize empirically ground research on the adoption and implementation of environmental management system AMS in small to medium-sized enterprise, or this is FMAS, or Indonesia is UKM, founded upon both an empirical and theoretical gap. It serves as a first step to create feature research and environmental management in SMAS by improving theorization from a management accounting and control stage. After that, the side purpose of this research is in that point: A. Explore the relationship between frame size and the development of sustainability tools. B. Assess the impact of context for better environmental performance. C. On adoption motivation. And D. Explore how AMS affects corporate and individual accountability. The problem that the journal up is, why do SMAS adopt AMS, and how are the internal management accounting and control process affected by this, and what are the performance effects in relation to AMS adoption and
Object of research. Because of the limited research on SME, this article was created for this background section span fields such as environmental management and family business, among others. It begins with a look at the connection between EMS and sustainability MSc in order to position the research. So, because of this article has object of the research. The object of the research is performance management system on a small to medium scale firm of accounting attitude and management control. Research method. The research process is schematized in figure below. The first step in the review process involves an initial database search using Scopus, Web of Science, and Google Scholar. Keywords were initially limited to ISO 14001 as the most influential global EMS and SMA or small to medium-sized enterprise, as sustainability issues are inherently interdisciplinary. The literature base spans various fields such as environmental management, production, and robotics. After reading the titles, abstract, and keyword, the studies which were not empirically grounded were thereafter excluded from the analysis, although used to supplement the general discussion and literature background. Step 2. Book chapter and conference paper were excluded in order to focus on peer-reviewed empirical articles. Additionally, articles that concentrate on integrated management system were also committed to concentrate on the nuance of environmental management. Finally, additional studies were added to the list by reviewing the reference and in-the-text citation from those already obtained. This initial search process returned 13 usable articles. The third step regards a forward-looking analysis. This involves reviewing articles which cited the preliminary sample. The citations were taken from the initial database. This led a total 23 usable articles for the review of EMS implementation in SME since 2004. Although this number is small, it is deemed comparable to similar reviews. and reflects the limited research attention in this area. Analytical procedure. The analytical procedure for this systematic review was operationalized around three key themes, namely the antecedents, process, and outcomes of EMS in SME. The first step of the analytical procedure regards tabulating the above thematic grouping manually in our document by analyzing the main research question and core finding from each study. From this, an exposed thematic area also arose from the initial analysis, namely the network effects of EMS in SME. This problem, however, was viewed as overlapping the motivational implementation process and performance grouping to various degrees. As such, it does not constitute a separate discussion thread in the first stage findings. Meanwhile, the second stage of the discussion the second step of the analytical procedure involved a higher order thematic analysis of the reviewed article by connecting their core finding to the broader MSc literature stream. This gave rise to some conclusions and recommendations for future MSc research.
The next discussion is about research results. So, there are three results of this research. The first is the adoption motivations, the second is the implementation processes, and the third is the performance measures and outcomes. For the first result, this is the adoption motivations. So, there are no clear patterns of motivation for EMS adoption, but it explicitly referred to the benefits of implementing an EMS in terms of adoption motivation. There appears to be key areas related to external drivers and internal drivers. So this result is divided into two groups. The first is external drivers that can be divided as stakeholder pressures and network involvement, and the second group is internal drivers. So for the first group, external drivers, the first one is stakeholder pressures. Especially customer requirements or regulations are noted as the primary adoption motivation for SMEs to adopt an EMS. For the network involvement for EMS adoption is important. Why? Because particularly with local network, for example, other SMEs are posed as useful for overcoming EMS adoption barriers as well as building expertise. These studies also suggest that networks play a vital role in supporting organizational environmental management innovation. For the second group, internal drivers, based on Hera Caesar Pitoria on 2011, found that firms which pursue EMS certification for internal reasons yield greater performance benefits. And again, Zorpas on 2010 also stated that the key motivations relate to financial, market, legislative, and community or employee relations. For the second result is the implementation processes. It talks about formal sustainability tools, informal sustainability tools, and external controls or tools. So for the first result of these implementation processes, formal sustainability tools, talks about planning system of the EMS implementation process. It could be stepwise or collaborative inductive models. These models serve practical function for SMEs by idealizing how the EMS implementation process should occur in practice. And for the second, informal sustainability tools, it talks about social element and system design technique combination. It requires a balance of social and physical dimensions. Particularly, employee skills and characteristics are considered valuable for implementation process in SMEs. The third is external controls or tools. It talks about knowledge sharing networks. Having collaboration with similar business or other associations can minimize uncertainty and ambiguity regarding EMS implementation by sharing experiences and working together. So the last one, the third result of this research is the performance measures and outcomes. So the financial, social, and environmental performance implications of EMS in SMEs are interconnected through improved operating procedures. This suggests that performance is not only defined by an outcome, but also a process that is evolutionary over time and space. It also suggests that separating the dimensions of environmental performance in this discussion is unnecessary. Because why? Because of the multidimensional nature of the construct both in research and practice. The next discussion is about advantages and disadvantages of this research. So for the first, we are going to talk the advantages of this research. This journal contributes by reviewing existing research on EMS in SMEs and provide recommendations for developing the understanding, conceptualization, and theory of the MAC positions. And for the next is about disadvantages. This research has disadvantages too. This is for more effective results of environmental performance, it still needs more research about contextual factors that affect the type and the nature of the control.
That's it. That's the explanation from our team. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.